welcome to my educational channel, Middle School Math. In this video, we're going to talk about So in this unit, we're going to talk a lot about fractions. We're going to talk about approximating. We're going to talk about comparing and ordering. We're going to talk about multiplying decimals, multiplying fractions. We're going to talk about dividing fractions, dividing decimals, and we're going to talk about infinite division. So yeah, it is going to be a really busy unit. So what is approximating? So this lesson is talking about approximating. So we need to know, what does approximating mean? So approximating or rounding, so they mean the same thing. So approximating is the same exactly as rounding. And what does approximating actually mean? So it means to express a number to the nearest given place. Very simple. So approximating means to express a number to the nearest given place, and rounding also means to express a number to the nearest given place. So what does approximation help us in? So approximating actually helps us in a lot of different ways, and one of the ways is approximating makes the numbers easier to work with. So let's take this example to understand this a little bit more. So for example, if the price of a book is 35.85 pounds, so pounds is another unit of money, but let's talk about it as dollars for now. So it is 35.85 pounds. It is easier to say that it's approximately 36 pounds. I'm gonna say $36. So let's just express this a little bit more. So I went to the store and I chose a book about mathematics, and I love the book, and I want to buy the book, and the book is $35.85. So I went to the cashier and I now paid him $35, and I still need to pay him 85 cents, right? So am I gonna still keep counting 8 cents to get the 85 cents? It's kind of impossible to get 85 cents when you need them. So I now approximated 35 to 36 to make the process a little bit easier on myself. So what I did is I added $1 to the 35 here, and this is how it became 36, because adding a dollar is easier than counting 85 cents, right? So if we drew this number line here and we plot the 35.85 point here, it's going to be this point here, and we plot the 36, which is the approximated number of the book, and 35, which is the exactly whole number of the price of the book. And we can very easily notice that 35.85 is very, very close to 36 and way far away from 35. So this means that 35.85 is easily approximated to 36, but not easily approximated to 35. Also approximating allows us to estimate more easily the result of operations. So what does operation mean? So we use operations all the time in math. So operations can be an adding operation, a multiplying operation, a subtraction operation, a division operation. So these all are called mathematical operations. So for example here, to estimate the sum of 98 and 51. So now I want to estimate the sum of 98 and 51. So when I estimate it, and estimating means rounding too, or approximating, so they both mean the same thing. So we need to estimate or approximate or round the sum of 98 and 51. So now we approximated 98 to 100 because we all know that 98 is very close to 100, so this is why we approximated it to 100. And we know that 51 is very close to 50, and this is why we approximated 51 to 50. So now instead of dealing with 98 and 51, which are kind of hard numbers to deal with, we are now going to be dealing with other things, other numbers, which are 100 and 50. So 98 has become 100 and 51 has become 50. And when adding 50 and 100, they are gonna be 150, right? So now we can say that 98 plus 51 is approximately 150. So approximating to the nearest hundredth. So we're going to deal with approximating now, but to the nearest hundredth, which is the topic of our video today. So approximating to the nearest hundredth means approximating to the nearest two decimal places. So to remember this, so we have studied before approximating to the nearest tenth. And when we approximate to the nearest tenth, we approximate to the nearest one decimal place. And now when we approximate to the nearest hundredth, we approximate to the nearest what? Two decimal places. An easier way to remember this is the 10 has how many zeros? Correct. The 10 has 1 0. This means we approximate to just one digit. The 100 has 2 zeros. This means we approximate to the nearest two decimal digits. So let's get going to what is approximating to the nearest hundredth. So approximating to the nearest hundredth means that the result of approximating includes only two decimal digits, and this is very, very important. So they include just two decimal digits. They don't include 3, they don't include 1, they include just two decimal digits. So to approximate to the nearest, so approximating to the nearest hundredth, so this chart is very, very useful to use if you aren't sure how to approximate to the nearest hundredth, because this is actually very basic and this is actually going to help you a lot. So we are going to look at the thousands place, and now we know what thousand place is because we are grown up and big people and we know what thousands place is. And so we're going to look at this digit and see if the digit is less than 5. So what will happen if the digit is less than 5, and what will happen if the digit is equal to 5 or more? So if it is equal to 5 or greater than 5, what will happen? And if it is smaller than 5, what will happen? So we're going to figure out now. So leave out, if it is less than 5, leave out the digit at the thousands place and the other digits to the right. Keep going to the right, the digits. So let's take this as an example over here. Let me just get the pen, and let me just get the pen's color be red so we can just work a little easier and be obvious. So for example, 7.5346. So we need two decimal digits of the decimal point. Where's the decimal point? Here's the decimal point. And here are two digits of the decimal point, 5 and 3. The last one, 3. The one beside it is 4. Great, the 4 is in the thousandth place. We're going correct. But the 4 is less than 5, right? It is less than 5. This means that the 3 is going to be left as 3. It's going to be 7.53. Let's take this one. So 28.342. Two digits after the decimal are 3 and 4, and the last one is 4. The one beside it is 2, and 2 is also less than 5, and this means that we're going to leave the 4 as a 4. It's going to be 28.34. And if it is equal to 5 or more, we increase the digit at the hundredth place by 1. So it's as if we are doing plus 1 to it, and leave out the other digits to the right. So what does that mean? Let's take an example. 27.1271. Here is the decimal point. We need two digits after it, which are the 1 and 2. And the 2, the digit beside it is 7. And the 7 is bigger than 5, right? It's bigger than 5. So this means that the 2 is going to be plus 1 to it. It's gonna we're going to make an additional operation plus 1 to it. So it's going to be 27 point. The 2 isn't going to be 2 anymore. It's going to be 13. 27.30. Here, 4.575. So we need two digits after the decimal point, which are 5 and 7. The digit beside 7 is 5, and 5 is equal to 5. And this means we're going to increase by 1. This means that the 7 is going to go plus 1. And this means that it's going to be 4.58. So it is very basic, but we just, after a lot of practice, we're going to get it. We'll look at the thousandths place digit if it is big. So examples. I have here a couple of examples for you guys to do. You can pause the video now. You can grab a piece of paper and a pen and try doing these, and let's correct them together. Let's return to this one here. As you can see in D, E, and F, here we have a 0 at the end, right? And we have here 2 zeros at the end, and here we have 2 zeros at the end. And we know that if there is a 0 on the right side of the decimal digit, it is like there's no zeros there, and we just could cancel the 0 out, right? But when we approximate to the nearest hundredth, we need the 2 zeros to be there. If there are 2 zeros, we need the 1 0 to be there if it's 1 0, so we can have two digits. So this is what we need to be noticing when doing this and be concentrated on. So we have reached the end of this lesson. I have a try by yourself questions here for you guys. So you can now pause the video and you can go try by yourself question. They are really good questions. You can grab a piece of paper and a pen and try doing them if you got them right. And how do you know if you got them right? Just use a calculator and see if they are right. If you got them right, then you are boom, you are ready to go. You have understood the lesson fully. But if it is you know, like have some problems and stuff, you can just rewatch the video and rewatch